Hi, I'm going to respond today to an email I received asking what is the proper left-hand fretting technique. There is really no one way. For every guy that plays with perfect classical form, there's a guy who drapes his thumb over and rocks out. But I'm going to show you what I prefer for two reasons. The technique I learned and that I teach to my students, it gives me a better agility where I can really flow through the neck, but also it protects my hand from injury. And that is simply that I like to keep my thumb on the lower portion of the neck. I don't drape it over the top. There's very few techniques, maybe some of the slap techniques I might bring it over quickly, but primarily I keep it on the lower portion of the neck. I let the fingers curve naturally, and I keep an airspace between the palm of the hand and the fingerboard. A lot of guys will collapse like that. They'll let it touch. Well, the problem is that now that index finger really has a hard time moving. It really can't freely flow all of the fingerboard. So I like to kind of keep it like this as I'm playing, and it just gives me a lot of flexibility. Each finger can move really cleanly up and down the fingerboard. One thing should be said, and the reason why I play MTD Kingston basses is that Michael Tobias always makes his neck have an asymmetrical shape, which means on the E string side it's thicker and on the G string side it's thinner, which naturally draws the thumb to stay there. And I just think that's kind of brilliant. It's a really comfortable neck to play. When you're practicing your scales, try to keep that technique where you keep an air pocket here, the fingers have a nice curve to it, and the thumb stays on the lower portion of the neck. This is also going to help you hopefully avoid some wrist injuries or hand injuries for playing for a long time. I just really think this is a good place to start. Now, is it the only one? No. It's funny. Some of our iconic bass gods, the guys that we just worship, they use different hand techniques. But this is something I can recommend wholeheartedly. And if you learn it, I'm sure you're going to benefit from the more agility you can get from it, and also that you won't hopefully have any hand issues. So that's how I recommend playing. Now you can also read a written lesson about that same topic by going to mtdkingston.com, click on The Zone, which is in the menu bar, and go to Bass Lessons, and you'll see a column where there's written lessons, and I have some photos and give some advice about the left-hand fretting technique. So there you have it. Great question. Thank you for emailing it in. If you want to email a question to me, just simply send it to dalet@danabgoods.com. Thanks a lot.